What's going on out there, buddy? Everybody's having a good Tuesday evening. House done with a meeting. It my on and do a bit of a pep talk and try and get people to get out and do some stuff this summer, politically and recreationally. Well, not as much stuff going on as there should be, but definitely start doing some. I don't know, get out there and start voicing our opinions. I mean, if we don't continue to keep going to keep getting pushed back, being in quick harder we had here in Anchorage, we had a great summer as far as getting a good conservative mayor in there, but we have a long ways to go. The assembly is going to be a challenge no matter what, but at least we can work on trying to get it balanced. Never get anything completely accomplished or get it wiped out completely. If at least we can balance it, then at least we have some voices in there that can help the new. That said, a lot of for next year, if we stagnant and we don't get out and start riling up the troops, we need to get out there and start doing some stuff. AC Pate, how are you? Well out there. Hope everybody's doing okay down south. I know that the new COVID variant, like it's 80% responsible for stuff. Being pretty funny considering that would only leave 20% original, which is kind of comical if you ask me, because I had the original COVID virus, and they've had the original COVID virus. A few other people I know of that had the original COVID. So does that mean that we're susceptible to it? I don't know if that's something that's a possibility or not, but I'm not scared of it. Doesn't mean that everybody apes it and it, but the whole idea of them coming around and telling people, knocking on your doors and doing the forced vaccination stuff. I don't know if everybody's watched it. I know that there was video out a while back, and I'm not sure what state it was in or where this was, but they were forced vaccinating handicapped people. They had the sheriff's department there. They had probably the help these giving them a shot. I felt that it was very uncomfortable. People getting the shot. Uh, looks like I had some audio issues. Case or not. Looks like maybe my streaming is a little like my usage is okay. Huh. Looking at watching the video on my phone, it looks like case. Huh. Case. I never have any problems or connection issues. Uh, Weird. Got good signal strength. A drop a couple. Huh. Weird. Um, Thanks for letting me know, folks. I appreciate that. It has been a while since I've been on here, so either maybe my modem needs to be rebooted or something going, and then I'll check. video's done, I'll check it out. It may come back, it may come through once the video's done. Talk louder. How about this? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? I did turn it up a little bit, so hopefully it gets through a little bit better. But anyway, yeah. So there's the forced vaccination stuff, and of course, you know, everyone's calling them the Jacovid witnesses. I hope that they don't come knocking on my door. If they do, they're going to get awakening. It's something that I don't think that you know, nobody likes to be bothered at home, especially by a government agency. You know, essentially that's what these people are. They're being told to do something that the government's telling them to do. So, you know, I don't think that we need to have the government intruding on our lives any more than they already do. They're already getting involved in our churches. They're already getting involved in our everyday lives. I mean, they're sending money to people that aren't working. You know, they're on their fourth or fifth stimulus check or whatever the hell you want to call it. So, I mean, it's like they want to intrude in every means, every way possible. They've been talking about doing the gun confiscations and all that crap that we keep hearing about. And luckily that hasn't come to that yet. And I'm sure that if that's the case, then we'll have to deal with it when that happens. But I know here in Anchorage, they're saying that, you know, we're starting to fill up to capacity. My question is this, and this will be a good test for the new mayor, is lockdowns. They're talking about lockdowns down south. They're talking about all that kind of stuff basically rehappening again, like that happened up here and across the most of the country last year. And if they do that, all the small businesses that were left the last time will all be wiped out. You know, they've only had a year basically to recover the funds that they lost from the first. And there's all kinds of different things that are going on there. Not only that, but they're also, the government is paying farmers to destroy their crops, and they're paying them like 3 times what the crop is worth to do it. And you know, when you're in a position to where you're already struggling and someone's offering you a big chunk of money, pretty good chance you might take it and do it. So, you know, there is that problem. Gas prices are stupid high. Housing prices are stupid high. I know my house, since the time we bought it till now, has increased almost 80 grand in 2 years on Zillow. And Zillow is just kind of a, you know, it's kind of a barometer. It's not really a fact-based website, but there's a lot of things that go into it. And I actually got a letter in the mail the other day about refinancing, and they were trying to get me down to 2.5, which I had kind of laugh because I was already at 2.5. But there's all kinds of different things that are going on that we need to step up and pay attention to. And I don't think that everybody's seeing it. There's all kinds of different things that we need to be doing. We need to be out on the streets. We need to be doing the same things Cuba's doing. Cuba is, they're sick of the communism. They're sick of the socialism. They're ready to stand up and fight back. They're getting sick of getting shot in the streets. They're getting sick of dictators ruining their lives. And what do we have right now sitting in Washington, D.C.? We have a puppet. And behind that puppet, we have dictators. And if we don't do something about that, or stand up and replace that person, then we're destined to fail. And there's no other place in this country that we can run. No other place other than this country that we can run. Everybody wants to come here because they know that we are still somewhat free, not as free as we used to be. Right now we have an illusion of freedom, and I mean that. And you know, you have to have a license to go fishing. You have to have a license to drive your own vehicle on your own property down city streets. And that's not freedom. That is an illusion of freedom. And when people wake up and realize that, not only that, but the taxes and everything that we have to pay every year that comes out of your paycheck and all that kind of stuff, we're basically paying for these people to rule our lives. And if we continue to keep doing that, and we keep putting in people that not only want to run our lives, but they will ruin your life. So there needs to be all kinds of different things that we need to do. We need to really start thinking about different ways to combat the stuff that we're seeing. So I've asked this question a couple different times. If somebody had an actual plan put out on paper and they could pass it from person to person and not having it online, an actual plan, would that help you stand up? The problem with it, when it comes to any kind of crazy stuff, I'm not going to say anything specific, but any kind of crazy stuff, is everybody is worried about someone being law enforcement or whatever. I mean, you can't even say anything on Facebook anymore without getting flagged for something. I posted something on there the other night that was literally a handwritten like meme, whatever. It was a tweet that had stuff handwritten, and it got flagged for being partially false. So, I mean, they've gone to those extremes now. I mean, it's not just bots and stuff reading your texts and things like that on there. It's actually, they're actually probably got people on there looking through all the memes, and Biden is approving it. So, I don't know. I mean, every day that goes by, every minute that ticks by, we get closer and closer to something socialist. We get closer and closer to losing the constitutional republic that this place was meant to be. And if we don't eventually wake up out of the slumber that we're in, we're going to lose it all. We're not going to have anything left for our kids. We're not going to have anything left for our grandkids. And this country is going to end up being Venezuela. It's going to end up being Cuba. It's going to end up being a lot of other things that we don't want it to be. And I don't want to leave that as our legacy. And unfortunately, we have ourselves to blame for it. Anyone that's, anywhere, I would say anywhere from 25 to 50, we have ourselves to blame for it, because our generation's kids are coming up in this, and that's what they believe. They want socialism. We didn't stay on the schools enough to make sure that we knew what they were teaching. We've allowed all kinds of different things, like, they didn't even want people watching their kids while they were on Zoom, because they knew that what they were teaching was horseshit. And, so that right there should have told you right now that the teachers are not teaching the right things. They've eliminated history. They've eliminated all kinds of different things that are out there. Now they're introducing critical race theory. They're introducing all kinds of different things. I know our school alone, our school system up here alone, has put in recommended reading books that are completely racist. And you can't beat racism by promoting more racism. It doesn't work like that. So it's like they watched the movie Idiocracy and they said, "Okay, hold my beer, watch this," because literally that's what they're running us into. So, if you are paying attention, a lot of the things that I'm talking about. If you're not paying attention, then I'm sorry, and I wish you would wake up so that you could see it. We have a lot of work to do, folks. A lot of work to do. And if we can't somehow pull our heads out of our butts, look in the mirror, learn to accept that it's not everyone's fault but our own, and work on trying to make it better. And the only way to do that is to get out in the streets and rise up a little bit. See what happens. I mean, you got Antifa in the streets, you got them destroying buildings and everything else. You got Black Lives Matter and all these other groups that are out there harming people, killing cops, doing all kinds of bad stuff, and they're allowed to do it. And that's in all the blue cities. Now, in the red cities, we're not doing anything, nothing major. We're going out there and promoting Trump things and his rallies and everything else. Well, if we could concentrate the same energy daily or weekly to going out and getting in the streets and doing the same thing that you would do at a Trump rally, we might gain some headway. You take the 20, 30,000 people that go to a Trump rally every time he has one, and you do that weekly, in a certain city or whatever, that's going to start raising some eyebrows. They're not going to want to. They're not going to want to see, 30, 40,000 people gathering in large areas and big cities. Because if you do that, then media has got no choice but to take notice and start reporting on it. The media, as hard as they try not to, they still have to cover some of the Trump stuff. And the conservative side of the media covers all of it. But the Democratic side of it, they wait for something to happen and then they blame Trump. So we have to get out and we have to somehow reach across the bridge. We have to somehow make the other people see that, listen, we're not the enemy. The enemy is in Washington, D.C., and it's not liberal or conservative. Because both sets of people that are in Washington, D.C., they're both against us. They're all getting rich while we're getting poor every single day. So if we don't get out there and we don't start doing something about that, keep in mind they're supposed to fear us. And that doesn't mean we're going to go out there and kill them or do anything like that. I'm not promoting that. But they are supposed to fear us because they work for us. That's what the Second Amendment gives us in its writing. It's something that, and that's also free speech. It's our right to go out there and voice our dissatisfaction with the people in Washington, D.C. If we can't do that, then we're not doing our jobs. We're not doing our civic duties. So we need to get out there and start doing that. And if you got a megaphone, get out in the middle of a church square, or get out in the middle of a park square somewhere, and try and gather a crowd. And I said this earlier on a live that I did on Facebook. Martin Luther King was the king of that. He would gather a crowd up and they'd be marching. And it's not me. I mean, I'm okay when it comes to speaking a little bit in public, but I'm not charismatic and all that kind of stuff. But we need somebody that will take the reins and be our next Martin Luther King, the guy that's going to get the attention, the guy that's going to get, he's going to get both sides of the equation and help make the answer. That's what we need. We need someone like that. Another John F. Kennedy, or maybe another Ronald Reagan. Someone that can bridge the gap. Someone that can wake up people, and someone that everybody can get on board with. I'm not sure that that's even feasible. I'm not sure that can even happen anymore. But until every option is extended and every option is gone, that's what we have to do. If we can't do that and we can't find that person, there's only one other option left, and nobody wants it. I mean, if we wanted it, we would already be in it. That's all I can say. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and test my equipment. I'm going to go back and check the audio. Thanks for listening, folks. How many people I got on here? Look. There for the dead air. Anyone watching it? Like it's not live anymore. There it is. I can add closed captioning. Back to my other page. So I'm actually on a couple different pages. I have it on my YouTube channel, Sherman Tank 76, I think, or Sherman Tank 76. Was on Dustin Sherman for Anchorage. Looks like it's still up, but I don't know. Quite a You should do a show on Signal, Patriots. Yeah, I know. I can't really do a show on Signal. I can't. My program won't let me go to Signal. I mean, you can share a link from like YouTube to Signal, but I can't really do an actual show on Signal. I would love to do that. Had 21 comments. That's pretty good. I appreciate everybody that's watching. I only got 2 people left on here, so I must be still having audio. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get off, but thanks again for tuning in. And sorry that we had a little audio difficulty. I'm going to have to do a quick scan and see what my modem's doing and see if I can't up it somehow. So I'm going to get off. I will catch y'all later. Things be good. Love y'all.